In 2013, History Television launched the most ambitious TV miniseries imaginable, the Bible. And who more fitting to shepherd that mega project than Hollywood power couple Roma Downey of Touched by an Angel and Mark Burnett, producer of Survivor, The Voice, and The Apprentice. I asked Roma about the international flavor of their production.
We have the joke in our family that Jesus was Irish because he never got married and he lived with his mother till he was 30.
Mark, why tackle the Bible?
It's clearly a calling. I mean, some people will hear it as a calling from God. Other people will just hear it as an instinct, you know, or something they think they should do. Many people either refuse to hear that, pretend they don't hear that, or find it inconvenient to hear that. There's two of us. We both knew at the same time we should do this Bible miniseries. And, you know, the strength in numbers gives you a bit of courage to not pretend you don't hear the call.
Early in 2013, Pope Benedict had historians scrambling when he announced he was resigning the papacy, the first pontiff to do so since Pope Gregory XII nearly 700 years ago. His Argentinian-born successor, Pope Francis, became the first pope from the Americas. Here at home, attention shifted to young Canadians, those experiencing a gap between the promise of post-secondary education and the reality of the 21st century job market. Effectively, they were being told, shoot for the stars, but lower your sights.
So I did my undergrad at U of T, and I thought I had a really good degree, like in poli-sci, because, you know, critical thinking and, you know, preparing for workforce, that you have something to offer. But I've been in entry-level jobs for 10 years, just going from industry to industry, trying something new and trying to get, you know, somewhere in that job. Ultimately, I had to go back to school.
Context dug deeper, asking if there isn't often a difference between a job and a vocation or calling. And that's where we met Shant Martirosyan, whose job and calling came together in burgers. Why do you call your business the Burgers Priest?
I think there's a redemptive element in everything we need to do as Christians. The Burgers Priest for me was, you know, how there's, you know, Genesis 1 and 2 talks about basically the motif behind it is that there's kings and priests, and it's later picked up in the Israelite story with the kingdom of priests. So the priests are people that mediate the world to God. So
you're mediating burgers, God's burgers.
I wanted to make the best burger I possibly can.
As we saw so often in 2013, remarkable people found ways to express thanks in the face of adversity. And we used the occasion of Thanksgiving to check in with a fan favorite, double lung transplant recipient Hélène Campbell.
I am so grateful for every day I have. And, you know, I take these antibiotics, and I take something called anti-rejection medications. And it was easy for me to never forget when I was first going through it with taking these meds that were like way too big and like 18 in a row, you know, just like full because of the water I was drinking. And now I can just put them all in my hand and take them. And I think it hits me more the further away I get from the transplant, the more I'm able to do and the more grateful I really am. So I don't know if you heard about my whole little, like, I called my lungs gratitude. It's
wow,
like,
tell us about that.
You know, well, just because without having gone through this experience, I wouldn't have gained so much perspective, compassion, and just understanding of what life is all about and what we go through day to day on a daily basis and what other people deal with and how much we take for granted.
And you called these new lungs gratitude?
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, I kind of like, it's like gratitude, attitude with a little grr, you know, because to have a positive attitude helps a lot, sorry, with the things you're going through in life. And the grr is just like, you know, you just got to be tenacious and just got to keep going.
Yeah, and you have to sometimes make yourself be thankful, too.
You really do, because it's easy. I mean, this is going to sound so terrible, but when I was going through the experience, I couldn't put my own shoes on, I couldn't get dressed, I needed help showering, all that jazz. So I was saying, man, I'm so grateful for the days that I could tie my shoes. And now I have these slip-ons.
Slip-ons, that's so bad.
Right?
Yeah.
And I still complain about having to tie shoes.
You were baptized this year. It's up on your
Yeah,
blog.
I
Tell me what
was.
this means and why you posted this.
Well, I'd never been baptized, like when I was baptized at birth and stuff, but I really wanted it to be a personal choice, something that I wanted to do. And it's insane because people are like, oh, you physically went through a transformation, you had a lung transplant. Well, I think in a lot of things that I went through, I was just under the grace of God, and he was really taking care of me, and the support I had was overwhelming. And the attitude I had facing this experience was one that was not of me. It was something that was stronger than I could handle because of things that had happened previously to me needing a double lung transplant, that I think any normal human being would not be able to cope with such a positive attitude. And just, I say that physically I've had a lung transplant, but I've also had a heart transplant in the sense that, you know, my life has been redirected, and I know exactly I don't know exactly what my purpose is, but just to see how much God loves every one of us, and he can take something broken and make it beautiful.
In a moment, my thoughts on a bright star, the birth of a child, and a heaven's eye view of what we can learn from 2013. In 2013, a child was born and the world rejoiced. A bright light shone in the heavens and the world was watched with great delight from high above. Except this time, the baby was Prince George, born to England's Will and Kate, and the light in the heavens was a meteorite blazing across the Russian sky, and the heavenly witness was Canada's rock star astronaut, Chris Hadfield. Shift gears to the original Christmas bright star and heavenly host. That was for the birth of Jesus, an event that launched the greatest idea in history, the idea that people can be reconciled to God. So keep joining us as we look at the news through that perspective. We listen for the stories of people and events who live out the journey of being reconciled to God. It's sometimes complex, sometimes it's tension with other elements in the world, and other times laughter comes easily. But always there is the discovery that God loves humanity, and you can count on us bringing you those stories throughout 2014. God is in the news every day. Join us here and we'll look for it together. Happy New Year from all of us at Context TV.